Spotlights brightened the stage. Some of the continent's biggest names in football were here. But first, respect for the departed hero, remembering the late Nigerian coach Stephen Keshi. Excitement then filled the venue as the draw began. All were eager to know who will face who in this final and decisive round for Russia 2018. If your country isn't in it, you'll be still definitely have some fantastic entertainment. Take for example Group B, where Nigeria is pooled alongside Africa's football powerhouse Algeria, Cameroon and Zambia.
Let's agree, all African countries are in a higher level like no time before. They all have professional players who are part of the world's biggest leagues. All the three ports have great names. We've seen a country like Cameroon in Port 3. Most groups are difficult, but definitely Group B is the most heated.
Group A has Tunisia, Libya, DR Congo and Guinea, while C brings together Gabon, Mali, Cote d'Ivoire and Morocco in one of the toughest groups in the qualifications. One coach in that group has very close experience with two teams, and he says the final qualification won't be easy.
You are saying I would like this team, but I think it's on the field where we have to play to be very efficient, and it's a very difficult qualifications because only one team per groups. It was not easy first to be qualified for this last 20 games because some games were difficult, but you have to deserve to go to the World Cup.
The challenge is more or less confined between Senegal and South Africa against Burkina Faso and Cape Verde Islands in Group D, unless of course surprises arise. Egypt faces the same moderate challenge in Group E. They will play against Ghana, Congo and Uganda, but it's not very good news for the Pharaohs. Ghana has swept them 6-1 in a humiliating match that ended the Pharaohs' road to the last World Cup.
I see the group is normal. Why normal? Because we must win everyone, and the coach who says this group is easy or difficult, to me, that's a big mistake, because we must win regardless to the other teams and their big names. I am optimistic. I always think about the Egyptian national team and achieving its goals. That's why we must win.
Countries will be playing in a home and away round-robin format. Only one team will qualify from each group. So let the games begin.
The big draw is over, and now all of the 20 countries will start working on a plan on how to reach Russia. In October, the big games will start in what many here believe is going to be one of the toughest World Cup qualifications rounds in Africa. Adel Mahroui, CCTV, Cairo.
All right, so the draw is made. All teams are focused on the Russia World Cup. Let's now get you more insight into this story. We're joined now by sports analyst Hatem Maher, who joins us from Cairo in Egypt. Hatem, thank you for joining us. Looking at the pools, would you say that every team stands a chance of qualifying for the World Cup in Russia?
Yeah, I think especially in the African qualifiers, there's always room for surprises. Especially that several teams have been on the rise recently, such as, for example, Cape Verde and Gabon. So I think every team has a chance to compete for the solitary ticket to the World Cup in every group. We should bear in mind that, for example, in the 2006 qualifiers, there were a couple of surprises, such as the qualification of Togo and Angola to the World Cup in Germany. So I think every team, regardless of the toughness of some groups, I think every team has a good chance to compete and qualify for the World Cup.
Hatem, talking now about Egypt, of course, they're pooled alongside Ghana, Congo and Uganda. They do have bad blood with Ghana, of course, remembering that they lost to the Black Stars 6-1 in 2013. Is it going to be the same situation or is this a different squad from Hector Cooper this time around?
I think Egypt cannot complain about the group because it could have been much worse actually. Egypt could have been drawn with the likes of Algeria and Cameroon, for example, or the Ivory Coast and Morocco in the other group. So I think with this regard, Egypt cannot complain. Even Egypt will face a very tough opponent like Ghana in the group. especially with the painful memory that happened in 2013 when Egypt suffered the 7-3 aggregate defeat to lose the chance to qualify for the World Cup. But I think the matter is totally different now. I think it's very difficult to repeat the same mistakes which led to that humiliating defeat. Egypt is now more focused on qualifying for the World Cup. They have a better squad, actually. Several promising players with a veteran coach who is focusing mainly on closing down spaces at the back, because that was one of the main reasons Egypt suffered such an embarrassing defeat in Kumasi. So I think it's totally different, and Ghana and Egypt will battle it out for the sole ticket to the Russia finals.
Hatem Maher, always a pleasure having you here on Matchpoint. That was sports analyst Hatem Maher joining us from Egypt in Cairo.